I hustle like this. There's not a second left. You know that tomorrow I'm hustling like there's only one more second left of this hustle.
Don't bother me, I'm working. 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 Don't work it.
Can't you see I'm on the phone? Don't be coming over here with that one on. Call me Mr. Combs and I'm 9 digits strong. When I was 19, I walked in the house and I told my mama she could stop. When you used to beatbox on the block, Big and D-Rock, they was getting that. Then I linked up with some from my hood who was known for putting that. And if your record ain't had, nah, then your song wasn't. Ran into this young Joan, tell her come home, she asked for a check, I said, you. Now every time she call, I don't even pick up, I just hit her with the text line.
Don't bother me, I'm working. Don't bother me, I'm working.
Trying to get the bands,
The crowd is assembled here at the Target Center in Minneapolis, looking for the Timberwolves to have a victory here on their home floor. And we've got it for you live, right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And it's back to Detroit for the Pistons at the conclusion of today's game.
Wow.
And they've enjoyed success in this matchup, winning the 2 previous games. A chance to close it out here with the win. You gotta like their chances.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jackson and KCP are in the backcourt together. Marcus Morris is out there with Tobias Harris. And it's Drummond in at the center. Here's Tang. And finished off by Jang.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, and he was so quick to break on that one. A good sign that he read the play.
Levine dishes to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
You know, the accuracy on that assist was perfect. He hit him in the dead run, exactly where it needed to be.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. There are some teams out of the playoffs at this point of the season. What are those teams looking to see, you think, in the final games of the regular year?
You know what surprises me is for coaches, and you know this to be a fact, it doesn't matter what the score is. They are always evaluating you as a player. There is no, quote, garbage time in a coach's mind, because how hard are you working? Because to me, it's never about the score or the outcome. It's, am I playing with pride on every possession, particularly if you're a young player?
Great points. And it's Drummond missing for Minnesota. They've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
That's an excellent finish on the break, getting all the way to the cup for an easy one.
Morris a screen. And
good block.
By Towns. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Drummond a screen. Morris. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Morris has got his first bucket in this one. Rubio the pass to Wiggins. Kick out to Levine. To the left wing. Here's Rubio. Connects from 3-point range. Rubio's got 5 now. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Back to Jackson. It's blocked. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Rubio. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played.
And you can see they're struggling from the field.
Towns kicks to Wiggins. Back to Towns. Wiggins outside. He dishes it to Rubio. Goes right
No way.
Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Drummond. Doris, when you talk to Minnesota fans, there was a sense of optimism with this team that had been absent for so long. The Timberwolves are a franchise that had been very close to being good for a long time. Where are they now?
Well, I think, Kevin, fans think this is a team that could one day be playing for an NBA title. And they aren't wrong with the talent that are the pillars of this organization. If there is any fan base that deserves to have a team like this, it's easy to cheer for Minnesota.
Stolen by Caldwell Pope. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Minnesota leading by 9. Here's Muhammad. Fires the 3. Levine dishes to Aldridge. Levine passes to Dunn. And Dunn with the slam.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And they're doing it by working the ball inside and getting those high-quality looks in the paint. That's been their recipe.
Jackson kicks to Harris. Will it go? Misses off the right iron.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
You love the confidence, but that's a situation where they really needed a better look.
Muhammad dishes to Levine. Dunn passes to Levine. It's not going to go for him. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And free throws are especially difficult on the road. The crowd noise can affect what you're thinking, and it's a challenge. And it was obviously a challenge they were dealing with. Yeah, we know there are big men in the NBA who struggle at the line, but for him, it's a real strength.
Morris with the bucket. Timberwolves leading by 7. Levine with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And Cole Aldridge with the slam.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
And because of the ways he's distributed the ball, it's left no doubt as to who they're going to run their offense through every time down.
And that does it for the first quarter. Timberwolves lead by 9. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
It feels like these guys are feeding off each other, and that's leading to having some fun and coming up with big shots.
They've got Towns. Dunn is out there with Andrew Wiggins. Then there's Muhammad. And it's Bielitsa in at the 4-man position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Well, this was the match that everybody wanted to happen. A proven coach with a stellar track record pairing with a team full of young talent. Minnesota has got to be happy with the hire of Tom Thibodeau for a young core.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, as you know, things could have turned out a lot differently for Stan Van Gundy. He was the favorite for the coaching vacancy in Golden State in 2014, but in the end, the Pistons owner gave him the chance to coach and run the front office. And that led him to Detroit. Well, the Warriors went on to win the title that season, but Van Gundy insists, if I had to do it over again, this is exactly where I'd want to be. Kevin, he can build this team exactly as he wants.
Thanks, DA, and after some tough exits in Miami and Orlando, this time he holds the cards. Jang, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Ricky Rubio comes in for Dunn. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That is his first foul of the game. Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for Drummond.
Look, sometimes you go up, sometimes down, and the trend has been on the downward side in terms of his average points per game. And a variety of factors can be the culprit. And a lot of times you focus on the efficiency more than just pure point output.
And for Coach Tom Thibodeau and the Wolves, it isn't just as coach, it's as coach and president of basketball operations. Doris, they went all in with Tibbs.
Well, there's no doubt, Kevin, and some teams might be hesitant to give that much control so quickly, but the Wolves were a team in need of direction. And when you have the resume that Tibbs has, it's certainly easier to give those reins to him. And also, they did what they needed to do in order to secure his services in what was a very competitive coaching carousel.
Wiggins kicks to Towns. Here's Dang. His three-pointers off the mark.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And there's the call on Shabazz Muhammad. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Here's Jackson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Of course, we asked fans to write in questions for you. We've had thousands, literally thousands of letters, emails coming in. The fans want you to answer questions. So here's one I just picked out of the fishbowl here. This is from Joe in Portland. What are your hobbies outside of basketball?
Yeah, I think this might surprise people, but I love to cook, Kevin. Not that I'm going to spend 3 hours in the kitchen, but having been the mother of 2 children, I love to cook. My daughter loves to cook with me. The other thing is I live at the ocean, so you can find me on the water.
I want to be one of your kids. My gosh.
It's not a bad life.
I picture you as like with a towel draped over your shoulder and coaching, thinking it through, but enjoying the cooking process.
Oh, there's no question. I'll tell you what, if I make a good dish, just like John Thompson, the towel's over the shoulder,
God.
but if I have thrown it down, that towel goes in the air.
You can cook.
No question.
Minnesota making some changes. Aldridge comes in for Towns. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Andrew Wiggins. LaVine, good. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle. And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Here's Muhammad. Offline with his 3. Pistons trailed by 6. Here's Drummond. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
Boy, if you're going to challenge him in the lane, you better go strong.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
Morris, no good. Timberwolves leading by 6. Down low. Here's Dang.
What?
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Some changes for Minnesota. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. And it's done in for Ricky Rubio. And one thing the Pistons have been doing in recent times is honoring the members of the 2004 championship team. Retired several numbers, and rightly so. I agree, that team was special.
And that 2004 had a great cast of characters, many of whom found a rebirth with the Pistons. That team helped continue the us against the world feeling that the franchise had in the Bad Boys era. Hard to express just how much that team meant to the city of Detroit.
Dunn dishes to Aldridge. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Early in the second quarter, that's already his second foul. He's going to have to play under control now.
The Pistons have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
And you look back on the Pistons, and whenever that group has had success as a franchise, it's always driven by a team-oriented concept. I mean, yeah, they've had stars, Isaiah Thomas, Chauncey Billups, but at the heart of all their title runs was a group of 5 guys that just played for each other.
In the corner, it's Levine.
And in this quarter, they just haven't had the success from beyond the arc that they began the game with.
Here's Harris. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Minnesota leading by 5. The Timberwolves shooting their second and third free throws tonight.
That's his first personal foul.
And the first one drops.
Second team foul. Shooting for Minnesota.
Both shots good from the stripe.
At the line for 2.
There's 14 seconds left in the first half. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim. Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. It's Bielitsa. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got 5 assists tonight.
And they've repeatedly probed inside.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Nice game. Great performance by Marcus Morris.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Well, there are very few defenders who can check him one-on-one, and in fact, collectively, he's a challenge for defenses.
And Detroit looking at who they've got. Tobias Harris is out there with Andre Drummond. Then it's Smith. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Morris in at the 3 spot. Rubio the pass to Wiggins. And Wiggins throws it down.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Smith kicks to Drummond.
And cutting into the lead with the big one-hand throwdown.
That's how you get your team back into it. Jang dishes to Levine. And it's off the back rim. No good.
He just needs to take his time there. He had all the space in the world to shoot.
And here's Morris for 3. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in. Timberwolves leading by 6. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pistons raised a few eyebrows when they took Stanley Johnson with the 8th pick overall in 2015. Now, he's a great athlete, but some thought there were better basketball prospects available. But Stan Van Gundy says what you got to bank on is a player and commitment to being great. There's just something about him. He is a great competitor. Kevin?
And he's built like a tank. T.A., thanks. Thank you very much. Here's Drummond. Out to Smith. Back to Drummond. Karl-Anthony Towns with the rebound. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And the jam by Levine.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the 2-hand slam. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. We talk about basketball IQ, Doris, all the time from a point guard and broadcaster perspective. How would you, I'd be interested in this, how would you define it?
You know, I think you can see a player who has played the game from their earliest. Like, I picked the game up at 7 years old when I moved next door to a park. And when you play the game from that young an age, there's just this natural understanding of the nuance of the game. Like, my son has played golf since the time he was 2 years old. He's been on a golf course. There's a nuance, there's a feel for it that you can't teach. It's been developed because it's been a part of who you are for such a long time.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
And you can blame it on a terrible defensive breakdown, one that could possibly swing the momentum here.
And Rubio kicks to Muhammad. A three-pointer. Wiggins hits the three-point foul. Wiggins has got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Oh, no doubt. They've struggled to defend with any kind of effectiveness. That's why they're so far off the pace.
And he wasn't about to do anything that would get him in trouble there.
Nope, up and in with a one-hand finish, the most basic possible. And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That'll be his second foul of the game. Some changes for Minnesota. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Towns. Bielitsa comes in for Jang, and it's done in for Ricky Rubio. And the Wolves have had problems in a number of places last season, but the one that really stands out, at least, Doris, on the offensive end of the ball was how they couldn't hit threes at a reliable clip.
No doubt, Kevin. The Wolves were one of the worst teams in terms of three-point shooting, and they know it's something they need to improve on, especially from their wings. If you can hit threes at a decent rate, it opens up for drivers like Wiggins and a post player like Towns.
Pistons trailed by 7, and the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. The first free throw is good. And it's hard to watch a Minnesota Timberwolves game and not think of the late, great Flip Saunders. Doris, a great coach, as you know, and an even better person. He meant so much to Minnesota, both for what he did for the team on and off the court.
But Kevin, it's rare when someone is universally respected, but Flip Saunders was, and he will always be tied to the Timberwolves.
And Cole Aldrich with the slam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
A room service assist to cap that possession. That pass was right on target.
Wiggins drives in. Morris kicks to Caldwell Pope. You can't hit that time.
Wow.
So Minnesota will take it the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And I think they can hold their heads high from that performance, you know, despite the final score being what it was.
Well, this was a competitive game, and it
It's
looked
so
like
weird.
it would end a lot closer. But that's the home court advantage kicking in. Those extra points down the stretch.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. There's 38 seconds left here in the third quarter. Dunn passes to Muhammad. Wiggins dishes to Towns. Bielitsa takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
You know, and I'm not seeing any urgency out of this defense, especially considering the deficit in the score.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Caldwell Pope with a screen for Smith. 1 second left. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. But Timberwolves on top, up by 12. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. So it's Minnesota now. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So on the floor for Minnesota, Dunn is out there with Zach LaVine. Then there's Muhammad. Then there's Towns. And it's Jang in at the 4. 5 to shoot. Dunn kicks to Towns. And Muhammad gets it to go.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Outside for Caldwell Pope. Drains the three-pointer.
Boy, you give him that kind of space, he's going to make you pay for it.
And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That is his first foul of the game. Ricky Rubio checked in for Dunn. Passes it to Muhammad. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 5 assists in the game.
And this collapse we've seen by their interior defense, it's really the reason why they've struggled and are in such a hole.
Their D is getting chewed up. It's time for someone to step forward, put their foot down, and put a stop to these easy baskets.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Smith kicks to Caldwell Pope. Second shot opportunity. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. Timberwolves leading by 15. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Here's Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. Here's Morris. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
A lot of great defensive-minded coaches, too, in the NBA. Who stands out there for you?
Boy, this is Tom Thibodeau for me,
Yes.
right? I mean, he changes the way, you talk about taking away boxes and elbows in the NBA, loading up to ball side, giving up contested twos. That's Tom Thibodeau.
Attention to detail.
No question.
From the wing, Smith kicks to Morris. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
Doris, offense up around the NBA in the last couple years. Do you feel that this is a good thing for the league?
I love it. I think the fans love it. You and I love it. The pace is faster. The shooting is better. The excitement level is through the roof. This NBA, what do they say? It's fantastic.
It is, but defense wins championships. Are you still sticking with that as a mantra?
No, no question.
Yeah.
Championships
Yeah.
have been defined on the defensive end.
Tries to save it.
Where my
Goes out of
foul?
bounds. Last touch by Drummond. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. On the wing, Levine. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Morris passes to Caldwell Pope. Shot from the wing. And it comes off the front of the rim. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Rubio dishes to Towns. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. And that's now 10 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Drummond. Rebound, Minnesota. Rubio outside. Rejected by Harris. Here's Smith. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Ricky Rubio picks one up. And the first one at the line is good. Minnesota making some changes. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jen. Bielitsa comes in for Levine. And it's done in for Ricky Rubio.
Listen, it's only one miss, but it hurts all the same as they try to cut into this lead.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Timberwolves.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort. They got everyone involved.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
Well, at least they're going to salvage a game from the season series after losing the first 2. And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Ricky Rubio.
Listen, we know he can affect a game with his quick hands and getting steals, and he really did that tonight. And I thought it helped fuel their defensive possessions.
They get it back. A 3 from Morris.
Just a cold shooting night. Needs to try to make it into the basket.
Down low. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
You can feel the love that this crowd has for them. I think the passion of their supporters made a huge difference in tonight's outcome.
Pass to Smith. It's deflected. Caldwell Pope. Higgins outside. Now the pass to Bielitz. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Just keep things simple. No reason to rush things there.
Brandon Rush. And it's Smith penetrating. Wiggins with the rebound. Here's Bielitz. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. And the